something strange is brewing behind the closed doors at Mercedes. While George Russell continues to play the loyal teammate and dream of becoming the team's long-term spearhead, cracks may be forming beneath the surface, and they're not of his own making. Rumours are swirling through the paddock like wildfire, and all signs point to a potential shake-up that could leave Russell on the outside looking in. Whispers have grown louder that Toto Wolff is quietly shifting his focus towards someone else. Someone already proven, already hungry, and already frustrated with life in red. That someone? Charles Leclerc, an 8-time Grand Prix winner, a fan favourite, and perhaps soon a defector from Maranello. The speculation isn't just gossip. Behind-the-scenes talks, frosty body language in briefings, and recent media avoidance are fueling suspicions. Could Wolff be setting the stage for a blockbuster driver swap? And if so, what does that mean for Russell, the very driver Mercedes groomed to take over the throne? George Russell has never been short on talent, and the paddock knows it. He carved out the nickname Mr. Saturday during his gritty Williams days, wringing out every last drop of performance in a car that had no business being anywhere near Q2, let alone Q3. That raw speed and relentless consistency earned him a coveted Mercedes seat in 2022, alongside the greatest qualifier in F1 history, Lewis Hamilton. And what did Russell do? He beat him across the full season, a feat only achieved by 2 names before him, Jenson Button and Nico Rosberg. That wasn't a fluke, it was a statement. Sure, Hamilton got the upper hand in their second season together in 2023, but the pendulum swung back hard in 2024. This time, Russell dominated the qualifying duels 18-6 and came out ahead in 15 of the 24 Grand Prix, all while handling the pressure of being the senior figure at Mercedes, following Hamilton's shock move to Ferrari. Toto Wolff bet big on Kimi Antonelli. The teen sensation tipped as the next big thing. And while Antonelli lit up the early rounds, his form has cooled. Meanwhile, Russell hasn't missed a beat. He's outqualified his rookie teammate 8-1 this season and crossed the line ahead in every race so far. For a driver who's outclassed a 7-time world champion and is now comfortably leading a hotshot rookie, George Russell's future at Mercedes should be rock solid, but strangely, it isn't. Despite proving himself as the team's clear front runner, his contract remains unsigned, and Toto Wolff doesn't seem in a hurry to change that. So what's the holdup? Wolff hasn't exactly kept his admiration for Max Verstappen a secret. In fact, he's gone so far as to publicly invite the reigning world champion to join Mercedes. And while Verstappen has since reaffirmed his commitment to Red Bull until at least the end of 2026, the ripple effects of that flirtation are still being felt, especially by Russell. Because in the event Verstappen did make a shock move, someone at Brackley would have to go, and all signs suggest that Russell, not Antonelli, might be the one sweating. It's a curious situation, the seasoned winner overshadowed by rumours, while the rookie is being groomed as the future. When asked during the Spanish Grand Prix if the constant Verstappen talk had become annoying or even disrespectful, Russell played it cool. Speaking to Mundo Deportivo, he said he wasn't bored by the speculation, and certainly didn't take it personally. But behind that calm exterior, it's hard to ignore the growing tension. The truth is no, Russell answered calmly. I've said before, I'd be more than happy to have Verstappen as my teammate. And let's be honest, why wouldn't any team want Max? If I were Toto and I could pick from a blank slate of drivers, I'd choose myself. And I'd choose Verstappen. It was a composed, confident response, but one that reveals a deeper, more uncomfortable truth. Because in Formula One, when a driver starts publicly defending their place in a hypothetical dream lineup, it's usually a sign they're feeling the pressure behind the scenes. Russell even extended the idea to Ferrari and McLaren. At the Scuderia, he reasoned, the ideal pairing would be Leclerc and Verstappen. As for McLaren, he admitted that dropping either Norris or Piastri would be a tough call, but the fact that Russell is making the case for his own inclusion, especially at Mercedes, speaks volumes. It's no longer about Verstappen joining, it's about whether Russell would even survive the reshuffle if he did. And here's where things get even more intriguing. The real threat to George Russell's future in silver might not wear Red Bull anymore. According to Corriere della Sera, whispers from Charles Leclerc's inner circle suggest the Ferrari star may not be as locked into his contract as everyone believes. The report claims Leclerc's camp has let it slip that he might not see out his deal through to 2029, and that release clauses in his $34 million a year agreement could be triggered at any moment. It's not just the money either, though Leclerc earns a staggering $16 million, less per year than his new teammate Lewis Hamilton. The deeper issue is trust. Leclerc is said to be losing faith in Ferrari's long-term direction, especially with the massive regulation overhaul looming in 2026. 2026, his biggest fear being stuck, again, in a beautiful but uncompetitive machine just as Formula One resets its playing field. Whispers from inside Brixworth suggest Mercedes are preparing something special for 2026, a next-gen power unit that could return them to the dominance of the turbo-hybrid era. Back then, their unmatched engine helped Lewis Hamilton claim 6 of his 7 world titles. Now, with another regulation reset looming, Mercedes may be ready to strike again, and Charles Leclerc is paying close attention. Toto Wolff's admiration for Leclerc is no secret. Combine that with Mercedes' delay in confirming their 2025 lineup, and it begins to look less like indecision and more like strategic planning. Leclerc, now 27 and in his 8th F1 season, knows time isn't on his side. Though signed to Ferrari until 2029, reports from Corriere della Sera suggest his camp may already be exploring exit clauses. With Ferrari still struggling to deliver a title-winning car, a move to Mercedes with a dominant 2026 engine on the horizon could be his last shot at glory. The contrast to Oscar Piastri stings. In just his 3rd season, the McLaren star leads the championship by 10 points over Lando Norris, while Leclerc is nearly 100 points adrift. For Charles, this may feel like déjà vu. Another year, another promise unfulfilled. If Mercedes really are building the best car for the next era, and Leclerc is available, then George Russell's seat, no matter how well he's performed, may no longer be safe. Ferrari may have miscalculated their 2025 strategy. Team boss Fred Vasseur boldly declared over the winter that Maranello would unveil a 99% new car, but that ambition now looks misplaced. Despite being the form team at the end of 2024, clawing back 75 points on McLaren across the final triple headers to finish just 14 behind, Ferrari opted to scrap their gains and start fresh. McLaren, meanwhile, took a different path. They doubled down on evolution, refining their already competitive package into the 2025 MCL 39, and the payoff has been immediate. As things stand, McLaren lead both championships, and the titles are now theirs to lose. Ferrari, on the other hand, are already considering pulling the plug on development for the SF25 and shifting full focus to next year. It's an admission that the bold reset hasn't delivered, and that internal pressure is mounting. Fred Vasseur, now in his 3rd year at the helm, is feeling the heat. Italian media report that Ferrari chairman John Elkann, the man behind Lewis Hamilton's sensational signing, is growing restless. Elkann is reportedly obsessed with Christian Horner, convinced that the Red Bull boss holds the formula to return the prancing horse to championship-winning ways. With Ferrari faltering, Leclerc growing restless, and Mercedes quietly preparing for a seismic 2026 comeback, the chessboard of Formula One is shifting fast. Toto Wolff's silence on contracts, admiration for Leclerc, and long game with Antonelli all point to something bigger brewing at Brackley. George Russell may be doing everything right on paper, but Formula One has never been a meritocracy. In a world of politics, power units, and paddock whispers, performance is only part of the equation. As the pieces move behind the scenes, one question remains: is George Russell still Mercedes' future, or just a placeholder for someone else? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, goodbye for now.